Hello and welcome to this little virtual tour of my research on music, bodies and emotions. My name is Bettina Varwig. I'm a fellow in music here at Emmanuel, and I like thinking about how it is that music affects us, what it can do to our minds and bodies, and what the history of European music making can tell us about these questions. Now, I don't know about you, but over the past months I have intensely missed the opportunity to attend live concerts. I have watched a variety of online, live stream, pre-recorded performances, of course, but nothing beats that experience of being physically present in a concert hall, that crackle of tension as the performance is about to start, that feeling of complete immersion in the music as it unfolds. But at the same time, there is something strange about those Western concert hall rituals, because although listeners are there physically present, they are asked to conceal that physical presence as much as possible. You are seated in neat rows, facing forwards, sitting still, trying to avoid any unnecessary movements or sounds. People touch at you if you cough or whisper. Only when the music has faded away does that relief set in of being allowed to clear your throat or clap your hands. Now, where did these strategies of bodily concealment come from? It was in the later 18th century, in the wake of Immanuel Kant's influential aesthetic theory, that musical works became these transcendent, disembodied objects of contemplation. So classical music became seen as this kind of incorporeal transmission from the composer's mind to the listener's mind. But of course, all music making involves bodies, the bodies of performers that produce the sounds, and listeners' bodies that receive and respond to those sounds. Music is well known for its capacity to give you chills, to make your heart race, to make you cry. Now, what has been interesting to me in my research has been the extent to which people in the period before this aesthetic paradigm of classical music took hold, these people were supremely attuned to these bodily forces. The idea that music should move the affections was fundamental in the 17th and early 18th centuries, and that moving effect was very much regarded as tangible, as corporeally grounded. So the French writer Villeneuve-Marville wrote in 1699, "Music and the sound of instruments contribute to the health of the body and the spirit. They aid the circulation of the humours. They purify the blood. They dissipate the vapours and dilate the vessels and pores." Music could alleviate headaches, could expel melancholy fumes, it could cure the bite of a poisonous tarantula by making the afflicted person dance until the venom was driven out. Now, the reason why music was capable of achieving these effects was because of how early modern people tended to experience their bodies. In the West today, we tend to think of our bodies as these autonomous, closed-off containers of a non-physical inner self. But early modern bodies were more fluid and porous, so musical sound waves could easily penetrate these porous bodies and cause profound transformations within them. In other words, music did not simply go in the ear to be cognitively processed by the mind, but it could go directly to the heart, to the inner organs, and affect your blood flow, the balance of your humours, and the flow of your vital spirits, which was that subtle, undetectable substance that formed the bond between the human body and soul. So smooth melodies, gentle rhythms, consonant harmonies made those spirits flow easily, making you feel warm, relaxed, and contented, whereas jerky gestures or distances could make these vital spirits contract, which would have caused sensations of pain, fear, or distress. So when in 1608 listeners in Mantua in Italy heard the opening sounds of Claudio Monteverdi's Lament of Arianna, that Cretan princess who was abandoned by the Greek hero Theseus on the island of Naxos, they didn't just hear that opening dissonant outcry of her lament and decode it as a representation of distress, but they may have felt that crunchy discord reverberating through their own bodies, making their own innards contract and their blood flow stagnate. So here is the opening of that lament. "Lasciatemi morire," sings Arianna. "Let me die." See if you can feel her call of distress doing anything to the way you are feeling within your own body. I don't know if this short excerpt made you feel anything tangible. It certainly makes my inner organs contract, go. And reports from the first performance of this lament in 1608 are very vivid in their evocation of the bodily effects it had on its listeners. Apparently, it not only made all the female audience members cry, but the song flowing out of the mouth of the singer is described as gripping people's hearts and squeezing their souls. It is this mode of listening with your full body and soul that I am interested in exploring in my historical work. And perhaps it can inspire us today as well to attune ourselves more closely to these kinds of full body musical experiences of the past. Thank you very much for listening.